Not much of an intro for you guys today, because today's just gonna be two guys talking about what shit week we've had, and that's it. So
Shit week.
shit week. Sorry, Presidente. That's as much as I got for this kind of intro. Let's go.
Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Milan fans all over the world, with your hosts, Vinny T and Stevie P.
Benvenuti nella casa
Giroud in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud.
Mignon with another magical save.
Mamma mia, Teo Hernandez, coast to coast, del numero 19.
Leao carica il mancino. Eccolo qua, Rafa Leao.
Il Milan è campione d'Italia.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan, un Milan senza parole, no words Milan. And that's all I got for you guys, Stevie P, Vinny T. And guys, yesterday I sent a message to Steve and I said, you know what, today we're just gonna take it back to the roots. I'm not doing no analyticals, substitutions, how many points do we have left? This is gonna be two guys, two fans, passionate fans, and trying to make sense of this all because, you know, Steve, I've been called a miserable fucking life, you know, would it be at work and everything, and that one passion or that one happiness, that positivity that I try to bring is with my beloved Milan. And it's been hard. It's been hard. Saturday, you know, looking at the faces of the guys that was there with me, and I find it really hard. And you know, I'm not gonna pay attention to all the messages we get because we got messages from both sides. We're gonna take the time to read out Curva Sud's statement, but it's I think it's me that needs therapy, Steve, and hopefully you're there. It's you know, there's anger, there's sorrow, and you know, in love, it hurt. It really fucking hurts, and it's easy to say, well, you know, we had the banter era, and things could have been worse, but 16 points difference since last year, and I wanted to get your thoughts first on that, and what you mentioned in the chat. You know, like it's catching up with us, so. What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, so watching Milan versus Inter, we're going to take you back to that. Just anger on my part, and not the result and what happened. And, you know, we had Giannis Antetokounmpo come up with, you know, his statement on winning when the Bucks got eliminated for anybody who follows NBA basketball. And it was a good statement, and I agree with it 100%. These guys are human. They do take it to another level physically and mentally. So I get that. And I'm all for that. But there was one thing in his statement where he said, you know, like they try and they give that effort. Now, again, I'm not comparing North American sports with European sports. But for this derby here, you know, I get it. Minus Leao, minus screwed up with a bit of Milan's psychological approach to this game. But again, it was always a derby. And the frustrating part for me is that this was, you know, Lazio, derby, Spezia, derby again, Sampdoria, and Juventus. Imagine how many times I've looked at it that I know it exactly by heart. Was a season within a season for us. This season, guys, it was going to catch up to us. And I get it. And I said what I said with the Napoli fans, you know, because I do believe it. You know, I do believe that this team needed a lot of reinforcements and it didn't get the reinforcements that it needed. But to show up in a derby, not prepared psychologically, and take 2 goals the way they took those 2 goals, and it could have been more, guys.
It could have been. I don't even know how they didn't close off that game. Çalhanoğlu's post. It could have been. It could have been a lot more.
Yeah, we know Fabio and Gio did a good job in their stuff. I don't like to talk right after because I say things without thinking. I've had the time to think about it, and that's the frustrating part. The Spezia game, does it bother me? Absolutely. But guys, I come on this show with you, Vinny, Monday nights, and I say, when it's a derby, forget about everything that happened before, forget about everything that's going to happen after. Think about this derby as the next 95 minutes that you have to play. That, again, it means everything. It means everything to the fans. It means everything to the people that tune in to watch. And Milan players, they have to understand, this is what sets European sports apart from North American sports. In European sports, there's true fans. There's the Curva. Do I agree with everything they do? No. But there's the Curva. There's guys like us making content. There's guys that like Franco, Tim, Anthony in the chat. Guys, we tune in for Milan. We tune in. Do you do this for any other North American sport? It doesn't exist. And that's the frustrating part. They looked like they were small kids in front of a humongous Oscar crowd delivering a performance where they didn't know how to play soccer anymore. It was the worst 45 minutes I've seen Milan play. And it was not only the worst 45 minutes that I saw, it was the worst body language that I saw. They looked like they were defeated already. They looked like there was no way they were getting in this game. I don't know who had to come down. Did Maldini have to come down? Maldini and Sheva and Baresi and Massaro? But someone had to knock some sense into these guys. You lose one guy and your psyche changes that much. And I've stayed online reading up on and reading the chats and reading the comments, and it's Pioli's fault and it's this guy's fault and that guy's fault. To that I say, fuck you all. It's all our faults. It's all our faults. And I'm going to include the fans in there too. The Curva and everybody. It's all our faults. Because we can't come to the realization that, this team is taking us on a magical ride. And we did not have a team that was ready for battle. They have a second chance. And I'm going over the Spezia game because that was just a continuation of the shit show from Inter. But they have a second chance tomorrow. A Tuesday night lights game, Champions League, against Inter, away, all the cards stacked against you to prove. Am I on here saying that they're going to win? Absolutely not. But just show some goddamn balls for 95 minutes and get a result to save some face and finish the season. And let's worry about the rest in the Mercato and what we need to do for next year.
I don't know if you saw the same thing as me. The one person from this weekend that I saw a lot more green than usual was Tonali. I felt that he was all over the place, had one of his better games from what I saw. But I don't want to spend too much time on Spezia. And it is what it is, and I can understand. It's okay, guys. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to hurt. But like Steve was saying, you want to put blame here, you want to put blame there. We're all to blame somehow. And I like what you're saying. People want to blame, like you said, Pioli. People want to blame. The only thing, guys, that to me, because I'm always make me understand, help me understand, is the whole Adli situation. But that's another conversation because we always keep on talking about this kind of stuff. But in the end,
Vince, there was no one that was going to save us. You could have reincarnated Seedorf, reincarnated.
But that's what I'm trying to say. If people talk about Adli, guys, you think Adli, if he would have had playing minutes, we would have been at 75 points this season. You guys think that if Leao would have played last week, we would have won against Inter? Not the way we showed up. So there are, this magical bus ride that, taking your words again, the miracle Scudetto. At one point, the signs are there. You've talked about the World Cup, the fatigue, not signing player. And these players that we did get, okay, last year we got lucky with the Kalulus. We got lucky. We did have a Frank Kessie in the lineup. Looking at all these people that we signed did not show up, or the guys that have been there, the Rebiches that did step up when he needed it. So It's just not that fault here, that fault there. It's just massively frustrating. The only thing that I will say for all you Milan fans out there, you want to shit on the team, fuck them and fuck this, you better fucking keep that energy up tomorrow. God forbid we win. Because don't you turn your back. Don't you ever fucking turn your back. And I'm gonna say this is what Shane shared this tweet from at the Semprista. Disappointing Mercato. Worst title defense in Serie A history. Lost the Supercoppa 3-0 to Inter. Knocked out of Coppa Italia by Torino. Embarrassed in the first leg of the Euro Derby. What do the fans do? They don't ask the team to apologize. They support them to push and fight to win the second leg and get the Champions League final. Forza Lotta, vincerai, non ti lasceremo mai. And in that in those words, it just means, yes, we're allowed to complain. Yes, we're allowed to be fucking frustrated and be mad at. But in the end, just solo uno Milan, and it's in our blood. We're always going to support this team no matter what. So to that, and I found this incredible, and I wanted to read out. I'm going to get your thoughts first, but I'm going to read out what La Curva Sud's statement came out there. But Steve, especially these people that it's like, oh fuck them, and we're gonna do this, and
it's a yo-yo of emotions, and I get it. And some people just, you need to see the big picture. It's not FIFA. It's not a video game. There's things that happen in a sale of a humongous company like Milan, and I'm going to call it a company because that's the transaction that happened, where investments could have been made. Sure, were not, and then in the end, guys, that's up to the owner, right? And I think the American transition for not only Milan but for Serie A is an important one. Not for the short term. Everybody will continue to say balance sheet Jerry, and you can continue to say that. But these are people that have done fantastic things with North American sports. And if you haven't woken up and realized that European sports is in the caveman age besides EPL, they must know something more than we do. And if they're going to come in, and I hope, and it's starting, the significant investment from American owners, will it change European soccer? Absolutely. But it will change it to save it. And that's what people need to understand. So I don't know what lies ahead for Serie A and for Milan. I'm just thinking about tomorrow's game right now.
That's it.
And that's the only thing that I should be thinking of, because, unlike Europe, I have Inter friends, and, I know that they're ready for these games, and they know that they're better than us. And again, I don't disagree that they're better than us. I agree. But in a game of 95 minutes, and you've played already 95 minutes, or you were present. Let's say you were present for the first 95. You have another 95 to make things right. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean you win the tie, because you kind of lost the tie the first.
Vogliamo un leone. That's the way.
Yeah.
We just want to live.
The fans want to see the heart, the same heart that the fans put in to make the tifos. I had Colin in the chat, talk about how much time these guys put in, almost full-time jobs to create these tifos for that atmosphere at the San Siro. And tomorrow will be the same atmosphere, just the colors will be reversed. Much more blue and black, less red and black, but I'm pretty sure the red and black, they will be heard. And that's the frustrating part, is I see all these comments, and they're like reactive comments. They're like, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. Everybody should have, would have, could have. But we can't. And we have to think about finishing off the season wherever we need to finish, and then fix the issues that we have with this club.
People wanted to... Was it a wrong time for Maldini to say that at the last game, that we need, that investment to level up? Okay, maybe not the... Was he wrong? Was he wrong to say something like that? No.
No, but that's what you notice. That's being said on American TV because it's the honest truth, and it's how he can do his job. It's how the people in our chat can get the some of the players that they want to get. The other factor is you could have all the money in the world, and you could pay the 60-70 million dollar transfers for these players. What you can't pay is the salary. The salary is what kills all. And what people are getting paid in the EPL, Serie A can't afford. And it's a miracle. I'm calling it a miracle because I didn't think it was going to happen, that Leao resigned.
It's not official, but even
if
those
it's
numbers,
not
it's
official,
like
whatever
5.5.
it is,
I'm like,
the
how's he
details
taking?
are out. The Gazzeta's saying it. Not that Gazzetta is always right, but the more than usual are saying that he's resigned. But a contract in European sports, guys, means absolutely nothing. It means it guarantees that guy is going to make at least that much money when he gets sold. Now, the term of the contract is very important, and the asking price for this player's card is tremendously important, especially to a team like Milan in Serie A, where we've had really hard problems selling our players. Frank Kessie, Donnarumma, to say the least. Those are funds, guys, that we'll never get back. And that's a nutshell of where we're heading with this type of stuff. It's guys, come to the conclusion. I've come to this conclusion a long time ago. I know that Serie A is not the one-all be-all of football anymore. It's not. It's unfortunate, but it's the EPL. The EPL is the moneymaker. So I have to be realistic in what I am able to think that these teams can do. And people are going to say, yeah, but there's 2 Italian teams in the semifinal. By the luck of the draw, guys. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's the luck of the draw.
I think everybody felt that way, and it is a draw. It is what it is. And again, I'm sorry to repeat, people are going to remember who wins this tournament, not that we had 6 Italian teams in the semifinals of these European competitions. I wanted to take the time to read, because there's been a lot of controversial takes about Curva Sud talking to the players, and you know how social media is nowadays, even journalists, not knowing what is going on and speculating. So this is from Google Translate, guys, so bear with me. Someone deliberately misunderstood, and it's a pity, the images of the aftermatch of Spezia Milan, thus losing an exceptional opportunity. Many journalists, and not only in blatant bad faith, have attacked the club for having allowed the team and fans to meet, for the sole purpose of discrediting the goodness of what happened, to fuel tensions in view of the second leg derby. This was a situation of peaceful confrontation, characterized by the incredible relationship that has been created between this team and the San Siro crowd. Never as one with the Curva as today. Was clearly under the eyes of the whole stadium. And the people who yesterday spent their Sunday supporting the boys at Milanello are further proof of this. The fans showed their support for the team even on the 4-0 loss against Lazio. Down 5 goals at home to Sassuolo, and after a badly lost Super Cup derby, always all united in cheering on the shirt. And sorry if it's not much, while the same phenomena that attacks the Curva today were intent of bombarding the Rossoneri on social media, TV, and newspapers. There was a clear show of affection on Saturday. No one scolded anyone. No media bullshit. There was mutual applause, accompanied by the throwings of shirts and cheers for the boys. There was a press release from AC Milan, which probably reported the episode, because it's the substance of things that make the difference. It's too easy to stop at appearances. Then there was the follow-up on Sunday with thousands of fans again showing their love at a difficult time. Certain press now borders on the ridiculous, puppets who deliberately misrepresent the reality of the facts, clowns who claim the right to say anything without a contradiction, shooting crap about those who spend the whole year spending money and dedicating time to a passion, who in a normal world he would have every right to confront and support his team. But we are in Italy, the country of indifference. That's right. On the basis of what criteria does a privately paid journalist have more right than any fan to ask a question, have meetings with the players, writing what is more convenient for him? Be less presumptuous. The fact of writing for newspaper or working for a television does not in any way certify the truth of what you say and write. Quite the contrary. The FIGC itself, before threatening to open investigations, unleashing media chaos, should ask its emissaries who it sends around the various stadiums how things really went. Stronger than lies. Come on and get united for the good of the shirt. Avanti Milan, avanti Curva Sud, avanti insieme. So, this is the kind of, and I'm sure that these guys were complaining all game. They're right. And just like our comments here, guys, it's not fact. This is what we feel. And I appreciate some of the comments disagreeing with us, but we're having a conversation. But this is, you see, I think they're talking about more of a problem that, they're just, oh, but this is what happened. This is what happened. And look at the cool. And then even the video, does this normally work? Does this normally happen in North American, in the European sports? No, you never see this. The fans are questioning and all the speculation. So I just found it was really good for them to do that. And again, talking about these guys traveling, spending this kind of money, and back to Milanello on Sunday, Steve, which was a great thing to see from a support, and even the players being there, applauding and saying thank you. I think it was really nice to watch.
Yeah, it's just times are different. This didn't used to happen in the on live TV. That's the only thing that I disagree with. I would not have done this on live TV. I understand the power and the grinta of the Curva, and exactly doing this on live TV. If we flash back to Inter at Spezia, I bet you, and all the people listening to Milan Weekly Podcast had a completely different opinion of what happened between the Inter Ultras and Inter at Spezia.
And so you think the problem
we can't be the pot calling the kettle black. So
but why was this caught on camera then? Why was this broadcast to
everything is caught on camera nowadays. If you ask yourself why, you have not been in the year 2020 and on. Everything is televised. Everything is actionable. Everything is up for the stake. You will be caught on camera. You're picking your nose, caught on camera. You're cheating on your wife at the game, you're caught on camera. You are dipping hot dogs in a beer, you're caught on camera. You want to talk to the players, I'm pretty sure the Curva has connections to have this meeting. Have this meeting off of cameras. No one needs to know. You want to pass your message, by all means go. You have a bigger access than anybody that we do here. I just think on air, it opens up to interpretation and exactly what happened. People decide what the Curva was telling Milan, and the Milan players not saying anything in return shows that they didn't really have anything to say, which I seriously doubt it. I think they're just there to listen. We're not going to have a conversation on live TV or an argument. But at a certain point, if you're having a conversation, it has to be two ways. It looked like they got scolded by their parents.
That's what the image looked like. But after reading all of this, to me, it just
we get that only after. It's too late. It's too late. The image is forever with everybody. And you got to, and we got to, and we'll go find and read. But the world in North America, they're not going to go find that. They're not going to go find that article. They're not going to take the time to translate it. It's over. It's done. The negative media, the negative image is set. It's done.
The positive that this comes from, if I'm getting you right, the positive that came out of this is only valid for true Milanistas, because they're like, look, the Curva is behind the team, where 3/4 of the rest of the people just like, look at this team in shambles. Look, because that's the way the commentators are talking. It's like how is this happening? Why is this happening? And it's just like,
because people are just not educated in European football. And what happens? You're opening the gates to the world, and the world, once America gets and televises your stuff, you are no longer in Europe. You open it up to different sports fans, the casual sports fans, and it's not something that happens. It's not going to happen at a baseball game. It's not going to happen at a football game. It's not going to happen at a baseball game. Not going to happen at maybe might happen at an MLS game. They seem like they're changing their ways a bit. But that's the only thing that I have a problem with. The message, I'm okay with it, guys. I'm okay, and it's okay that they even get scolded. They were even too nice because they do travel for the team. I'm just saying the Curva needs to take another approach to these things, a smarter approach, if you want to really deliver the message without being on the news.
Where it would be possibly in the past, they would maybe meet up at Milanello, no cameras, no nothing. Now, like you're saying, nowadays, you saw the one that from last year, gathering the troops for the Scudetto run. But this one, it's because of, I get what you're saying. It's the delicate situation that we're in, and it just didn't look good because at first glance,
the
I'll admit,
body
Steve,
language. It's
at
also
first glance,
the body language of our players was not good.
No,
I'll be honest with you.
No, it just looked like, what the fuck is going on? They're losing their shits, and that was my first impression, right? But then obviously, so you're right from what you're saying. This is from what we're reading, but again, thank you for La Curva to doing. And even though some people want to run with this kind of bullshit, go right ahead. In the end, we're thinking about tomorrow, Steve. Tomorrow, it is what it is. 3 p.m. I might make a last minute decision, Steve, in solidarity with Presidente. We might do no silenzio stampa, no pregame therapy. And the chat will be completely off for Milan Weekly Patreon. I know, sorry guys, but I think we all need to be with our own selves, watch the games, enjoy the game, don't have to worry about who's writing what, and just enjoy the game for what it is. And I know we're going to be a good bunch tomorrow at Chicharo's. I hope to see more than we did last week. So, forza un silenzio stampa, Stevie P. I think you would agree.
For me, my phone is completely, all notifications off. My silenzio stampa has been from the beginning of the year.
From the 45th minute, Steve, to when they scored Spezia the second goal, I looked at our chat, was 372 messages. That was just the Patreon one. And chapeau to you guys, because you guys are the best. On Patreon, obviously, Shane, did you guys have a special weekend? Shane, I love you, buddy, but go fuck yourself. Fabio, Steve, if we lose to Inter and lose to Juve next week, what changes would you like to see for next season? I know it's a bit of a hard question, but okay, so let me ask you something. Whether the results don't come in, do you revamp everything? I don't think revamping everything is going to be the key thing to, like, do you start from scratch? You're looking at these 10 players that might be leaving. I don't think that would be the solution to the problem. Would you just go, maybe, obviously you always said key positions at Milan, but I don't think revamping, new coach, new coaching staff, 10 new players coming in, because we've done it in the past and it didn't work.
No, I don't even think they're going to change the coach. I don't think they need to right now. Has he made mistakes? Yeah, but so has all the other ones. Guys, we have Manchester, we have Chelsea at $600 billion spent, sitting in 10th place in a very, very, very rich league, guys.
How are they going
Serie A doesn't have that money.
How are they
Milan doesn't have that money. So the revamping stuff, guys, there's no tank process here. That there's not a lot that needs to be changed, but there's a lot of pieces that need an upgrade. And people are going to say, but that doesn't make sense, Steve. It's because changing and just getting rid of and doesn't work, guys. Doesn't work.
You got to keep that core.
Brand new coach, brand new philosophy. Some players might fit. Some players might not fit. It's the questions, It's the last minute mercato stuff that we have to avoid, Where we need a backup for the wing position or left back position, and you take a chance on Dest, and that doesn't work out. You need to fix the center attacking midfield position, and you're not sure if Diaz is going to be there. You're bringing in Adli, which we all thought was the right move, leaving him out on loan. Well, someone needs to tell them that maybe he should have stayed on loan another year to get some minutes. So basically, you took back Adli and you made him sit. Those are the things that need to change, because
what a professional, by the way.
Your professional scouts identified Adli for a reason. CDK,
And we saw when he
guys.
came
Yeah,
on.
and CDK, you made an investment of 35 million. We've made investments and we've had patience with the Leaos and the Tonalis, and I get it, guys. He hasn't shown those flashes. I can't deny that to you guys. But you've made this investment. They're not going to give up on this investment. And I think there's something there, guys. There is something there. He just looks lost. He looks like a deer in headlights. The moment the shirt is too big for him right now. And coming off a championship season, guys, whether you like it or not, the pressure on this guy was high. High price tag. You're the champions. He was expected to step in, new country. And I'm not making excuses for him. But these are all factors that, we've used before for other players. So this could be another signing, in theory, next year if he picks up his game even to 50% of what he could do.
I still go with what my thoughts are, is that I think, forget the pressure on the kid, but why is everybody maybe losing their shits on CDKs? Because he was our only signing and the expectations for him were so high. But, all the other players that we brought in, anyways, but that's what Fabio's question. Lab Gorilla goes, I don't understand anymore what our club is doing. When we won Serie A, were we actually not supposed to be ready to make top four? Were we so far ahead of schedule that our Mercato could not keep up with our ambition? Is fifth perhaps where our club belongs? And maybe Pioli has brought too much success too soon, so we have unrealistic expectations. That is the only way that I can explain our abhorrent form. Our squad is simply not top four quality. Our best first 11 is, but after what do we have? But after that, we are not better than Spezia, seriously. And the I know with Bizak we're talking, like the rotation, and he failed in the rotation. But he's like, at this point, you have to put in your top 11. Steve, if you're Pioli, or I've seen Inzaghi a bit of rotation, but the last, let's go back 7-8 matches. Do you start your best 11 every single game?
I think he had no choice. I think that was a fail. If any of the mistakes that he's made was the way he rotated the players. I think he should have tried to secure a result and then start to rotate in some players. But again, this is someone who, I think Tim put it in the chat, I think he deserves a season with some depth, with some actual depth, guys. And not these guys that we hope and buy, that are going to become, or we're gambling on them. The Kalulu, the type of Kalulu player is not going to come in all the time. The Tomori player is not going to come in all the time. The Tio Hernandez gamble is not going to work all the time. And we've seen that, right? So, but when you're making purchases like CDK, it's for a project. There's something behind it, right? And Frank, Facebook Frank, you're completely wrong. Presidente never called him the next Kaká. So this is exactly someone being exactly like someone on social media, taking something and making it something that it's not. It's not him telling you that he is Kaká. He just said his demeanor looks like Kaká because they were both very shy people. And Kaká became a monster, and the Ketelar is a deer in headlights right now.
Right now.
So don't misconstrue what people say. CDK, there is not going to be another Kaká. There was one Kaká, and that's all. And this is probably going to end up on TikTok. One Kaká, and that's it.
Gio still frustrated. I feel disgusted in the whole organization. We thought we threw away this year's Champions League for hope we would win the Champions. Come on, Gio.
These guys are so annoying.
Coast to Coast tomorrow special. Tomorrow.
I'm so disgusted in the organization. Please tell me what these guys were doing when we won the Scudetto. They were drinking.
This is our co-host.
I know, but it's tiring in the chats, guys. It's really, really tiring, guys. It's tiring. You're disgusted in the organization that has 19 fucking Scudetto wins, 7 Champions Leagues, guys. Do you understand what you're saying when you say that? Do people understand what they're saying when they type on a WhatsApp chat, on a Twitter tweet, on a Facebook post? Come on.
the emotions, guys. Sometimes that's why I say I'm gonna mute the chat, because sometimes we're texting, we're messaging with
It doesn't
emotions.
make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's in the end, guys. We got tomorrow to think about. Let's forget about, are we gonna finish top four? Let's take tomorrow as a game. After that,
I
we'll
have an
think
idea
about
for Gio and Fabio tomorrow. Somewhere in Long Island and in California. I am pretty sure you both have, a Laredo Magnus Poirier equivalent funeral home.
a funeral.
Guys, do the coast to coast straight from there, guys. Do it from there. No?
What if somehow we pull off the miracle?
They still have to do it from there. He's fed up with the organization. Well, tomorrow you can't celebrate tomorrow.
Well, Gio, you
What
wrote
do
it
you
out.
want us to do, guys? What do you want to do? Do you think by all of us typing the same thing over and over and over again, Facebook Frank, you're king of that. Over and over and over, he's still with the Marcello. You believe it? He's still in the chat with the Marcello to prove himself right. Bella pucchiacca disorda. Bella pucchiacca disorda. Guys.
I love, this is why I wanted this kind of podcast.
Realistic Milan. I'm going to answer you in the chat. This is his question.
What's this?
What's wrong with CDK? I don't know.
Steve.
I would make some serious money if I knew really what was wrong with it. But like I said before, I think it's a combination of things. The Serie A is not the Belgian league, whether we like it or not. Imagine. And I think the talent is there. I think the soccer IQ is there. He just needs to get used to the league. And I would really, really think that it's possible, but we have to be patient. The actual organization is going to have to be really patient with it.
What game was it, Steve, where he scored and it was called offside?
Every game, I think. Every game. That guy there, for number one, is he has to go see someone to take out the malocchio from his body. He's malocchio from top to bottom, and especially around the neck area, very large malocchio. That has to go first. That has to go.
We're gonna end up finishing with a good laugh, because we're gonna finish up after with busted tweets. But today, I just wanted for me and you to talk, Steve, just like we used to talk back in the day at the bar. I know we don't have the opportunity like we used to, and I just wanted to try to make some sense of what's going on. We have opinions from left, from the right, in the middle, and yes, he needs to have some confidence. In the end, guys, it's think before you tweet, think before you message. I'm not here to do rally, let's go, and we're gonna win. I'm here to say no good will come from being negative. I don't understand. You can complain. It's okay to complain about somebody's performance, but to be negative constantly. We have one guy in the Montreal chat. He keeps on talking about Jerry, that he has no money. We're never going to. What do you know? You know what? I hope that when he brings the money, or if he brings a new stadium, you're going to have the same exact energy. Nothing can come good out of just being fucking negative. That's it. That's all.
I'm the most negative than them all. And I sometimes see some positive, but no, it's hit the hammer right on the nail.
No, but Steve, I'm just saying, it's like you'll be negative here, but you're not going to go throughout your day sto scarso di Pioli, sto merda di questo.
No, but it's a reactionary thing, obviously. It's not fake, guys. Like the things that I say on this show is the things that I continuously have a conversation with people at the bar. I really believe in the things that I say. I'm not saying them to create content here. This is stuff that I really believe, and I think that I look at the game a different way. And I think of football now especially Serie A football, as it's a business model now. There is some heavy duty guys with a lot of cash that are going to be coming in. We see it in the EPL, and that balance sheet on the EPL is masked right now because they're so much on the green that their spending is so much bigger than anybody else, which is an argument for another show. Might be actually doing more harm than good.
Rami says we're not winning tomorrow. It's not being negative, just realistic. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
But hope. You gotta hope. There's
know what?
always you gotta hope, because
I even agree with
thoughts
him.
and prayers. Hope, guys. Do you actually think I'm coming out tomorrow and going, we're gonna fucking win this game in a way? I have belief. I have hope, right? But no way am I marching there. We're gonna beat Inter 3-0. I'm gonna start trash talking Interistas.
But there's a chance. There's a chance.
Inter,
And I
you don't
agree
want to
with
close it off?
Ramiz. I agree with him 100%. Do we deserve to win? Absolutely not. But there's a lot of games where the team that's played the best hasn't won. And you know what? If that could be tomorrow for us, I have no problem with that.
Vogliamo 11 leoni. That's all we ask for. That's all we ask for. Steve, are you ready to change the mood?
Yeah, we have to answer this guy.
What are your thoughts?
Hassan, I don't think it's him who didn't prioritize top four.
Guys, but
I don't think that's his call. I don't think that's his call.
But Steve, I have a problem with that question. Not a problem with you. I'm having a hard time believing that, let's say, Maldini and co, whatever, the draw is done, and you know what? We're gonna win this Champions League, so we're gonna concentrate on I'm sorry, guys. I know about positivity, but in no way, shape, or form that Maldini and friends, looking at who's on the other side, said, yeah, we're gonna get through Napoli. If anything, we're going to get through Inter or Benfica, and we're going to take on Real Madrid, Chelsea, or Man City. So I'm not sure, not prioritizing top four. Yes, David, the ball is definitely round, but I think it's just, like you said, Steve, the bench players, it's easy to say we should have kept those starting lineups and not, or maybe rotate, after you secure maybe a goal or two. But look what happened against Roma. Who make those changes with 5 minutes left in the game and we still fucking collapse. So it's like, we can't win, guys. We just can't win on this. But thoughts and prayers for tomorrow. Thoughts and prayers. Hope is all I have, and that's what I'm going to keep it at that. Oh, and can I just give one indigestion? CBS Sports, that now we're able to watch because these finals, there's Bonetti and the other guy. Thank you. That by the 15th minute, this is a nightmare start. What a horrible! I think they mentioned it 12th. Thank you, Captain Obvious, that you need to remind us that it's a horrible start. And I'm like, but how many times do they have to say it? How many freaking times do they have to say it? So that's my indigestion, and my brioche is definitely Curva Sud and seeing those fans. But yes, guys, Canada, you could watch it on CBS, the regular CBS CBS Burlington, whatever it's called. You'll be able to watch it from there. Steve, anything indigestion coming to mind?
No, they better play like animals tomorrow. Savage animals.
Savage animals. And are we ready to have a few laughs? Let's finish off this one with a few laughs. Go for it. Yes, David. We definitely did. What did Jan do for us on this week? Because I'm sure he did not run out of material this week, right, Steve? Slide number 1. L'Imperatore, that Hakan and Barella is better than the Barcelona.
Than all three.
These two are better than that Barcelona midfield that who's on there? Iniesta, Xavi, and
Busquets.
This one probably got 1,600 likes, 20,000 retweets.
But little does L'Imperatore know that if that midfield trio would have played the Milan that showed up last Wednesday, it would have finished 17-0.
Slide number 2. Monza staying up triggered a permanent deal for Petagna, the proceeds of which funded the move for Simeone. Good deal for Napoli. And Partonopecia goes 3D chess to Patrick Kendrick. I'm trying to understand this one. Monza staying up triggered a permanent deal for Patagna, the process of which funded a move for Simone, a good deal for Napoli. We need Jan to give us a few of these notes here because I don't get this one.
I think it is a good deal for Napoli. They got rid of Petagna and signed Simeone. Didn't really play that much, but he scored some important goals.
No, I think it's the 3D chess one. I'm not 100% sure. Jan, sometimes just a couple of notes on this one. Number 3. Juventus won't play Champions League next year. If we finish top 4, we will get a point deduction and we'll miss out. If we win Europa, we will get a ban from UEFA competitions. They don't want us there. It's predetermined by the corrupt institutions. You think Serafino won't screw us? LOL.
Pot calling the kettle black. Example 1.
So this is from a guy that supports a team that take away your... No, aspettate. Prendetevi punt, right? And I don't want to hear anybody say, guys, we're going to make Champions League because they're going to take away points by Juventus. If they do something, it's probably going to be for the beginning of the next season. But Steve, it's a corrupt UEFA. They don't want Juventus in the Champions League. They don't want him so much. You see Pogba yesterday, he got injured because it's so corrupt that they don't want Pogba to play European.
That was someone from UEFA who sniped Pogba. It's just bad luck for Pogba. I feel bad for him. That was pretty nasty. I even feel bad. The first time in a long time that I felt bad for a Juventus. But this one here is again, pot calling the kettle black. Indiana Jones, NYC Juventus.
He's been on a couple of times.
Yeah.
Next. While Milan failed to beat Spezia, team whose last win was before World War II, Inter again started with the best 11, killed the game off, and subbed off key players. Wish we were this serious, not gonna lie. So Spezia, their last win, Steve, was before World War II. I don't know if you knew this one. And us, we didn't. They were in the infirmary, Steve, so they faked the injuries. Krunic, Leao, all those guys there. So is this UEFA? Or is this like somebody from... what happened here? We decided not to play these players, right? Because they were fake injured. Hamko and Milanista 203. And he's a Pioli out. He's a Pioli out guy.
He's a Pioli out guy.
You have any comments on this one?
Again, I just don't... we failed. It's just... that's sport. You're going to win, you're going to lose. And we lost. We didn't show up. We lost against the Spezia team that, needed the 3 points and wanted the 3 points more than we did. So,
but no, we did not decide to just do this rotation. They were injured. That is all. All right. So, which one? Okay, this one's pretty good. I think this one means something with the 3D chess, meaning I'm not 100% sure, but this one. But this one, do you know if it's clickbait? You know what I mean? Is this... You can't be this serious.
Maybe he is. We never know. Well, we'll just give him the win.
Give him the win. But even Tim's saying, I like this one. The irony of having 19 Scudetto and Pioli out. He's the one that won us. I'm going to go with this, Steve. I'm going to have to go with this one because it is busted for a Juventino to talk about corruption in sports. You're going with the Inter one, Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Inter guy.
L'Imperatore, can we go 1A and 1? I think just the fact that Hakan is in this picture. Yeah. Clickbait wins for me. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with that one. Because I think that New York, he's been on a few times. Yeah. Okay, so winner is Hakan and Barella, better than the midfield of the good old days of Barcelona. Fadi goes Juve, but sometimes they're all winners. They're all winners on this one here. Any closing statements? Any closing words for? I know we might have ruffled some feathers, and maybe some people don't agree with us, and that's fine. That's what we're here about. And like we always say, if we're gonna dish it out, it means that we can take it. Especially you, Stevie P. You just enjoy the mayhem. I love it. But you know what, guys? Sometimes when people laugh, there's a way to laugh. Steve, when he's laughing, but he's laughing from he reads these comments to him, and he's laughing from like it's really like a belly laugh. So that's how I know that he's really enjoying the comments, the back and forth. Hey, Steve, if you're getting some hate, you know who made it, right? Stevie
Oh,
P stands for positivity.
I really don't care about it. I really don't care. What I care about is that tomorrow they show up to play, and they fix somewhat of this psychological lull that they've been going through the past couple of weeks. You know, we saw some light with the Lazio game, and was it Lazio that bad? You know, I don't know, but against Inter tomorrow at home, you know, for the Champions League qualification, we have to make them work for it. I don't want this to be another walk in the park. I'm going to repeat again for everybody who's going to see any other clips of this podcast. Do I think that we can come back and win? Absolutely, because it's a 90-minute game. Realistically, this is a tough tie to come back from. 2-0 down going away, it would be, again, another modern-day miracle.
But Steve, didn't you hear? There's a French referee reffing this game. Imagine what kind of... I'm sure that even, God forbid, you know, we don't pass, so we get a goal on a penalty that's somewhat 50-50. Limone Inzaghi just loves the... we have New York Juventus on that one, but you got to love Simone Inzaghi, that the best thing that comes out of that interview is just like selecting a French referee with all these French players at Milan. He's entertaining, at least, right?
He is, for sure.
On that note, guys, I'm going to leave you off, and I think we're going to do that. No group therapy. These chats are going to be muted. It's time to stick together. Let's give it up for... who's getting his blood pressure up, Steve?
Tim and
Tim and Frankie.
They're ganging up on Facebook Frank over here. They're making his blood pressure go up.
Well, I know they like to pick at each other's...
Facebook Frank. Activate wall of text to Timmy and David Fanta's social media accounts. Activate.
Thank you for making me finish this one with a bit of a smile, a bit of a laugh. I'm just going to finish it off like this. Vogliamo 11 leone domani, ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao, guys.